All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our event, Talking co-sponsored with CEA. In particular, we're going to be talking about our program locations in Prague and Sevilla. All right. Today we have a special guest. We have Seth. He is the regional director of the Mid-Atlantic region. So he is our go-to person when we are working with CEA and we need anything whatsoever. We would reach out to Seth, and he might also be working with you if you have any questions. But we'll get a little bit more into what does it look like with a co-sponsor program and what that relationship is with CEA. So a quick little overview about what co-sponsored is. It's a unique set of programs. We only have a few, right? There's only a couple. They're very selective. Um, and the unique thing about this is the billing is by Miami. So it's the same tuition whether you're in state or out that you've always had. And then we also have a special program fee. What's not listed here is that the reason we built that is that you can use your Miami scholarship. So upon admission, if you got a Red Hawk Excellence or a Bridges scholarship or a tuition waiver or some kind of admission scholarship, it automatically applies to this program. But then we also have additional Miami scholarships for these programs. And the other thing that's very unique about these is that once you get on site, you have a provider there to help you. So these are a little bit different from exchanges where you would have staff on the other end when you arrive. But here you have a provider. The providers go a little bit above and beyond what a staff can normally do. They're going to give you a pretty intensive on-site orientation. They're going to walk you through the academic registration, the support. They're going to get you your housing assistance, get you into the house. And then once you're in there, if say you get locked out at night or something like that happens, health and safety. So study abroad safety is definitely a key. You know, they're good. As soon as you land, they're going to give you a phone number that you can call 24 hours a day. And that's really key, right? So say you're out late at night and something happens to you, perhaps you just get lost. You're able to call a number and there someone will be there to help you through that. And then the last thing I like to say is they add fun. They add a lot of fun to it. They will give additional city tours and maybe say for Sevilla, they'll be like, hey, we're going to go to a flamenco show tonight. You guys have already, sign up here, or we're going to take a quick tour this weekend down to this site and go see some ancient Roman ruins, etc. So there's always these additional adventures that these providers can help us with, which is quite awesome. And now we're going to talk specifically about CEA. So Miami is using a couple of different providers, but we're going to focus on our friends CEA. They were founded in 1997. They're based in Phoenix, Arizona, and they have hundreds and hundreds of programs around the world. But their Prague and Sevilla program are quite popular. But I've also been able to personally visit them in Florence and in Barcelona and absolutely love their programs. They're a great, great provider. And we also have a little YouTube video here to watch with us. So let me figure out how to make that active. And then we're going to start with a little bit.
First day of classes. I slept in super late because I stayed up super late, but hey, that's okay. You gotta do what you gotta do. Going to trade now. So worth it. some homework because it's study abroad.
That is right. It is study abroad. Fantastic. Thank you, Seth, for sharing that one with us. And now it's time to turn it to you a little bit. Let's get past this stage here. We have a few questions for you. So first of all, obviously, do a quick little introduction, but then why don't you tell us why you love working with CEA?
Perfect. Well, thanks so much, Kevin, for that intro and for including us in this. As Kevin mentioned, my name is Seth. I'm one of the University Relations Directors at Cea Study Abroad. While Cea is based in Phoenix, I'm based in Philadelphia, PA, and work with schools throughout kind of what we consider the Mid-Atlantic region. So it includes all of our university partners in Ohio. I've worked in study abroad for almost 9 years now, and studied abroad 3 times myself. I did a semester program, a 6-month program, as well as 2 short-term programs in Argentina and the Dominican Republic. So I drank the study abroad Kool-Aid, so much so that I found myself working in study abroad 9 years later. So why do I love working at CEA? Honestly, it's the people. The people that make up the organization are really passionate, dedicated individuals, from our enrollment staff to our academics team, to our university relations team, to our finance and operations team. Everyone is here for that central mission of providing programming that fits the needs of our students. So whether that's programs for engineering students or programs for other underrepresented groups that traditionally wouldn't have studied abroad, there's a lot of people that are passionate about making that a reality, no matter what they're working on as part of the organization.
And that's certainly something that we feel in our office too, the passion, right? It is especially a hard business right now with COVID. Some of us are struggling with the meaning of life and the meaning of our jobs, but it's really when we get down to that, the one-on-one with each of these students, that we really get to feel their passion and both kind of keep ours energized. So one of the big question here is, so what's special, right, about CEA, and what are they bringing to Prague and Sevilla that our students can expect when they're there?
So there's a whole host of them, but the thing I'd start out with is that in Prague and Sevilla, we call Cea Study Centers. So I like to tell students, think of the study center as almost like a mini US university. We have the infrastructure on the ground, the staff, the faculty on the ground that are there to support you, the student, throughout this entire process. So not only do we have a building space in a building, we have classroom space, we have student lounges, our offices are there, but those 2 centers are 2 of our larger centers. So you'll have access to a wide variety of activities that are hosted throughout the center, to staff. Kevin mentioned earlier health and safety. The staff are there to help you throughout anything that you might need. We do have a 24/7 emergency phone number. That is something you'll get an emergency card when you arrive. I always tell students in pre-departure orientation, if you leave your apartment with nothing else but some money and ID, you need to have that emergency card on you. It's just really important. But there's so many different opportunities in these 2 cities. First of all, the history and culture in the cities. We provide you with opportunity through excursions and activities to help develop that interest and learn more about the city. But we really try to make sure that we're using the city as our classroom. So CEA focuses a lot on experiential education and high impact learning practices, meaning we're not just going to sit you in a classroom. Classroom is great. The lecture component is important. It's where you learn your foundation. But how do you actually apply what you're learning in the classroom in a real world context? And that's through getting outside the classroom. And because both of these centers are located in the city center, it's easy to just get out and explore. And so say you're taking a Spanish history and culture class in Sevilla, you're going to be in the classroom sometimes, but your faculty may also say, hey, today we're walking. We are going to see this particular site. That's a big piece of what we do. There are so many different things going on in the center. The center is normally pretty bustling with activity. I know one thing CEA does frequently, both at our headquarters and at our centers, is we have something called Fresh Fruit Mondays. So every Monday, you'll just find a bunch of fresh fruit in the center. And it's part of our wellness activities. We typically do a wellness month where you might come in and there's yoga available or other types of wellness activities throughout the course of the term. So we're really looking at how do we best support you throughout this process.
That's awesome. I know a lot of times students will be like, can I take 18 or 20 hours when I'm going abroad? And I'm like, no. You need to find a nice balance between study and abroad. Study is very important, but the abroad component of it is what it's like the two together working is really what makes that experience something. So that's awesome that CEA is able to really bring that forward to the students and provide that, right? So that's kind of the difference, again, usually with a provider versus not using a provider, is that you get these like additional benefits through CEA. And then what do you think is one thing that students should know before they study abroad?
That's a tough question. I would say the biggest piece of advice I give students before they study abroad is to be flexible and open to new activities and new opportunities. If you go in to study abroad with a particular expectation of what you're going to be doing, say on a daily basis, that may be very different than reality. And part of study abroad, I know, Kevin and I talk about this. We talk about this in the field of study abroad. Is that aspect of adaptability and flexibility there. Things are going to change on a moment's notice, especially if you're thinking about studying abroad for this upcoming term. As we deal with changing COVID regulations, there's going to be some times when you're asked to turn on a dime a bit. And so the more flexibility and adaptability you can go into the program with, the better off you're going to be. And just you'll be able to take advantage of all the different opportunities that are available to you.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's always a hard one to really express without having gone abroad. And sometimes I'll have students be like, well, how am I going to do this? And how am I going to do that? And I'm like, look, if you go abroad after 3 weeks, you're going to start being like, flexibility is the name of the game. And it's going to all make a lot more sense. So sometimes just trying to have that mindset, or at least working on it as much as possible, is always advantageous before you head off. That's for sure. Well, fantastic, Seth. I really appreciate your time today. Certainly, if anybody has any questions, you can always book a meeting with an advisor. We're always available. We also have chat features. You can reach out to us. You can email us, etc. And please check out our other Quest events on our homepage, which you can find here. And it's up there along the top banner. So appreciate that. And thank you, Seth. You have a great day. And we look forward to continuing to work with you.
Thank you very much.
Cool. Take care.